Welcome in, everybody.
In other cities. This particular
All right, welcome in. We have a couple. We have a developing situation happening right now. A developing situation happening in Minneapolis and Iran. Right now, I was coming on to talk about Iran and what's happening there. Now, I know a lot of you watch President Trump today saying that the protesting and the shootings and all that has stopped. We're going to talk about what is really going on. But breaking news. Now, I can't confirm 1,000%, okay? But I'm getting information as we speak. So bear with me, everybody. And welcome in, Mike. Sandra, welcome in. Another ICE agent has shot a protester. A protester's been shot. News is coming out about 30 minutes ago. Venezuela, who was involved in a protest. He threatened a ICE agent with a shovel. I can confirm if it's true. This is coming out of Fox, New York Times. I'm watching really closely. But he's been in custody and he is okay. No serious injury. He's been shot. Again, if you're just coming in, we got two stories we're developing. Also, a third story. Live breaking news. The Democrats are speaking on Kristi Noem. They want to impeach her and follow her with multiple false allegations with the ICE agent with the shooting, and that happened last week. We're going to take a look at this because it's live. We're going to talk about Iran. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate being here. Bear with me. There's a lot going on. I wasn't even going to do a live tonight, but things are twisting and turning, and I don't think Trump's going to tell us everything because of this. If you're just coming in for the first time, like and subscribe. Trump likes to surprise us. He's coming to surprise, particularly after the market closes on Friday. Market. So, which through this weekend, as far as a possible air attack in Iran. He was questioned today. Let's cover that first. By the media, Trump believes that the protesters and the regime in Iran has stopped, at least for this Wednesday. But 5 minutes ago, it's morning in Iran. Stay with me. There's been a plane, okay, trust me, an Iranian-owned plane taking off. Where's it taking off at? I just don't know. So bear with me. I'm trying to get multiple news outlets. My laptop has broken. I'm ready to go get another one tomorrow so I can try to do multiple news outlets and use different apps, guys, as there's so much going on. Hey, before I go any farther, I greatly appreciate it if you guys can do a whole big favor and like and subscribe. We got development stories. Let's listen to this. I had to pause it, but this is pretty much live. This is on Kristi Noem. The Democrats are going nuts. They want her impeached. They want Donald Trump impeached. And Kash Patel. Anyhow, let's listen a little bit on this. We'll talk more about Iran. And I want to get more information on the ICE agent who shot a protester who so happened to be of Venezuela, living there in Venezuela. Excuse me, stay with me, in Minneapolis, Minnesota. He's been shot. He's okay. Went in his house, threatened the ICE agent with a shovel. We got a lot of cover, guys. So let's go to Kristi Noem first. And hold on.
Resolution comes just at a time when enough is enough is enough. And people are looking to us to do everything we can to show that we have...
Welcome, everybody. This is a couple different stories. They want Kristi Noem impeached.
And I know my colleagues have too, from constituents.
but from people.
Too many shootings from ICE agents in Minneapolis. Welcome in, everybody. I'm Sal. Listen
in different states, encouraging what we're trying to do. The other thing is, you asked me about Leader Jeffries, that we have concentrated
live
so
at Capitol
much
Hill,
on,
live
you know,
at
the
Minneapolis.
cost, affordability, and healthcare, and I never want to detract from that. But when you think about it, and we work with many different
Frank, hello.
people and committees, but this is affecting people's healthcare. This is affecting affordability. When I think about Chicago and people afraid to go to work, when I think about restaurants that don't have as many people coming to eat there, when I've heard stories about people afraid to go to the doctor, afraid to take care of their health because they're afraid to come outside. I had a town hall meeting in a grocery store that people told me they're just simply afraid to go outside.
We got a couple different stories happening real quick. Let me go to real time real quick. Welcome in, everybody. Lots going on right now on this Wednesday. Let me get this live here. Hold on. What we got here? Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer gives his remarks on Kristi Noem. He was her impeached. We have a story with an Iranian plane taken off. Owned by Iran, has taken off. We got a lot going on. Hold on one second.
They're unsure what exactly.
Hold on. All right, here we go. All right, so another ICE agent's been shot. Here we go. This is live time, guys, so it is true. Hold on.
Certainly a crowd dispersal tactic we just saw on live television. Seems like things are cooling down for a moment on this camera. Let's move back to our other vantage point.
This is in Minneapolis.
This is the scene where that other officer.
It is official. Official confirmed. Another ICE-involved shooting. All right, so I was correct.
So far, Malugin says that he's told by 4 law enforcement sources that there's been another ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis tonight. He's told that ICE was making contact with a target who then allegedly assaulted an officer with a shovel. Swung a shovel.
Here we go.
Shots were fired. And then the suspect ran back to a house. Okay, it looks like this camera's running away.
Hold on, guys. Hold on one second. Let me get a better light here. Hold on. Stay with me, guys. Sorry. Hold on.
Putting the camera down, possibly.
Breaking news.
There is no audio coming through on this camera.
Breaking news, guys.
Just to be clear.
We have confirmed. Listen in. Oh, shit. Oh! Shots taken. Breaking news. Hello, everybody. Welcome in, Crystal. Welcome in. Guys, you heard it here first. As I get to the news.
So yeah, that's going to make everybody run away as quickly as possible. A number of our crews have been exposed.
We got a lot going on. I'll explain in seconds. Hold on. This is live, guys. This is live footage here. Live. My wife is wondering what's going on. I'm trying to get as much information as I can. We have another shooting in Minneapolis.
You see protesters carrying milk with them for these moments. Looks like one of those officers feeling some sting in the eyes after tear gas was deployed. Go to another vantage point. Looks like our feed might be.
All right, let me back up here, guys. Officials confirm another ICE-involved shooting.
They're live on air right now, and they're covering this reported shooting in North Minneapolis. Let's turn the audio up on them. This is a live broadcast right now.
We got stuff happening in Iran, too, guys. Don't go anywhere.
North, that is the Hawthorne neighborhood of Minneapolis, and you can see the crowd that is already forming there. There's a big group. We've been told there's smoke, some fireworks, and some chemical irritants have also been sprayed on the crowd.
We do know, as Kelsey pointed out, 6th Street and North 6th Street and 24th Avenue North is the location. If you're familiar with that Hawthorne neighborhood of North Minneapolis, that is it. You're also looking at a live shot right now. As you can imagine, this came in very abruptly, and we learned very quickly that people had gathered there as well. Police, Minneapolis police also responding to that area, as you would suspect in a situation like this. We do not know who the person is or what the purpose of that person being in that area was that may have been shot. We do believe that it was an injury shooting, not a fatal shooting. That is pretty much all the details that we have now as we watch this video right along with you.
We know there's a lot of law enforcement officials.
Guys, I just want to interrupt real quick. I know you guys are listening. I promise I'll go right back to it and keep my big mouth shut. What I'm hearing, guys, it was a Venezuela at the protest earlier this about an hour ago, maybe a half hour ago in Minneapolis. He had a shovel. He attempted to hit a federal ICE agent as Trump put more federal ICE agents in to Minneapolis. And his no life-threatening injuries is correct. Let's listen in.
And you can see there is a huge crowd that is gathered here at the corner. We just got here a few minutes ago, and right when we were getting here, looked like federal agents were deploying tear gas, which they are doing right now. We're going to back up a little bit and at the crowd to try and get the crowd to disperse. Obviously, this is a volatile
This is from
situation
Fox 9,
that's going
folks.
on.
I have to just say that.
Right now is
Fox
City
9
Council
doing a great job.
Member Latricia Vitaw. And Latricia, what did you see and when did you arrive here?
So I arrived here just a little bit ago. I was getting constituent
Whoa.
calls that there was a shooting in North Minneapolis, and it's not, you know, I come to these things. I got over here and I realized that it was ICE involved. And so
ICE involved.
I've been here now. The tear gas is out here. Everyone's running and scared because that's some powerful stuff.
When you got here, what initially did you see and what was happening when you arrived?
When I got here, they were saying they were trying to get someone out of the house. That there's a house on this block that someone had been shot in, and they were trying to get them out.
I know the city had released or tweeted a statement saying that you know, they were aware of reports.
Welcome in, folks. Thank you so much for being here. Can you do the channel a big favor and hit the like as I am bringing this news very rapidly to you guys?
Have you heard that?
Thank you.
That as well?
Not Minneapolis police involved. Minneapolis police is here to make sure that the residents and folks are safe. They're definitely not involved. And I think now the VCA is on the scene and ICE is trying to clear out.
What are your thoughts about what you're seeing and if these reports are true, if this is another person that...
It's just so scary, and there's so much misinformation that goes out, and then there's real things happening. And so I think it's just getting scarier.
If one of my mods, Mike or Crystal or Janine, who's ever here, can just put in, if you could, I would greatly appreciate it. That's been confirmed, a ICE shooting in Minneapolis. If you could just put another ICE shooting in Minneapolis, thank you. We got to talk about Iran
to
too.
make sure people are getting the right information and that we don't see more, you know, bad things happening because people think something else is going on that's not going on. I think having key information is important in these times.
And what's the message that you've been hearing from people who were here, and has anybody said they saw what happened?
Nobody, I haven't heard from anyone saying they saw what happened, but I'm just hearing from people that they're really scared.
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate you chatting with us. Obviously, as we can hit, Vinny, if you want to turn the camera around, and you can see there are still a lot of people, protesters who are here, demonstrators who are trying to figure out what's going on.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, Scott. Good evening, moderators. Good evening, everybody.
Looks like federal agents down there.
Another federal agent shooting in Minneapolis.
Everyone here.
A suspect apparently is
a lot of confusion.
Okay.
A lot of frustration over what's been going on. If the world
Threatening an ICE agent with a shovel. A shovel.
Early last week since the killing.
Some kind of a
Renee
snow
Good
shovel, I'm assuming.
Federal agent. So we'll continue to follow this, and we'll let you know anything else as we find it. Vinny, let's back up.
Maury, just quickly.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
There's fireworks going on.
What's
Maury,
going on?
get safe. We'll just follow this video. Let's just let it flow.
Crazy, crazy,
Tear
guys.
gas. We're gonna back up. Tear
Okay.
gas so we can stay safe. Hold on.
Okay, here I go.
Now look. Now look.
All right.
Here we have hope. Now look.
Here I go.
Hold on.
You okay, Maury?
Yeah, you can, I can feel the tear gas in my eyes and it got a little bit in my throat, but obviously not as bad as some of the folks who had ventured up a little bit closer. Or so a little bit, isn't it? yells me, says, the federal agents, and as they get close, they deploy some sort of gas, and then that kind of drives the folks back to the corner. And that's been repeated several times just since weeks. This is not number 8. Just a little bit since we've been here.
Is there a perimeter set up, Maury? Because we can see from one of our cameras a crime scene tape that has been put up almost a full city block. Can you see how far back from the potential shooting site that this crowd is now gathered?
It's kind of difficult to see. We're about a block from 20.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to lower for a second. I promise I'll be quick. What's happening? We have it developing. I just came on the air. This happened maybe 30 minutes ago. We have an ICE agent involved shooting in Minneapolis, Minnesota. As a reports that I got earlier was a suspect possibly from Venezuela living in Minneapolis threatened or attacked a ICE agent. The ICE agent chased him into some house. If it's his house, and the ICE agent is doing okay. And as far as the suspect, whoever it might be, is also okay. I repeat. We also covering lots going on, guys, in Iran. There's been a plane taken off in Iran and owned by Iran. We're going to be covering that as well.
Is coming in as an injury shooting, potentially of someone who was being taken into custody by ICE. Maury Glover,
viewer discretion advised. Thank you.
Bystander there to talk to about their experience.
Yeah, she's just standing here in the street kind of recording what's happening. First, can you just say and spell your name for us?
Hi, I'm Casey, K-A-S-E-Y, Hayes, H-A-Y-E-S.
And why are you out here tonight?
I live in North Minneapolis, so this is my name, This is Nicholas.
Welcome in, welcome in.
I'm a little startled.
I'm trans, I support. Hey, God bless everybody coming in. Whoa, whoa, whoa. A lot happening, guys. Fireworks, fires.
You can see they're deploying tear gas and other irritants. Maury, you okay?
Yep, we're okay.
Yeah.
I'll back up, guys.
How are you feeling about what
I'm
you're
doing the
seeing?
best I can, guys, to show you different footage.
Keep going. You can keep talking.
Yeah, no, I'm super disappointed in the now service are having here and don't be
What is going on? What the hell?
And tear gas. We're going to move away a little bit and catch our breath for a second.
Is this the United States?
But you can keep talking, I guess. Kind of
I mean,
you said
come
you're
on.
disappointed to see this aggressive response.
Yeah, you know, we as Minnesotans care about each other and we want to make sure that people are safe.
Vinny, please back up.
And this is clear dissonance to our care and consideration for our neighbors.
Yes,
So you can see that the federal agents kind of moved up the block to kind of move people away.
Yes, tear gas. Thank you.
Again, throwing tear gas and being met by other people, residents who are throwing or launching fireworks at the bus. Very
more aggressive, I think.
a little.
You know.
Yep. Vinny, move back, please.
Yeah, I scene that are deploying the chemical irritants or impeding
It looks like that's the case. No, it looks like the federal agents are deploying the gas and
just for viewers, Maury, you're just backing up slowly, right? Away from the scene?
Yeah, we were at 25th. Yeah, we were at 25th and Lindale, and I'm a little bit farther back on Lindale, going towards, I believe, 26th.
And you're seeing people now, for the folks at home, you're seeing people who have been hit with that chemical irritant being aided. And it is nasty stuff. Get the water in the eyes, and that seems to help a little bit.
Guys, I can
It made it a little
confirm.
difficult to talk when it comes to your lungs. You have to cough.
We got a lot
and,
going on, guys.
It hasn't
What
been
happened?
too bad for me, but I've seen several people who have been caught in that and then have been.
Where's my moderator?
Getting picked up and kind of
Oh,
moved
right
back. Now it looks like federal agents are taping off the end of the intersection at 25th and Lindale, kind of keep people from walking down that.
It's confirmed
way.
on an Iranian
still
owned
obviously very
plane.
volatile and
We
fluid
have lots to
situation
cover,
here.
guys. Have
Maureen,
taken
can
off.
you tell how
Where
big
has
the
it
crowd
taken?
is?
We
You
don't
said they
know.
were,
Trump has come out live today saying everything is okay in Iran, but we're going to stay tuned, guys. We got a lot to cover. I have to confirm some more information as my phone's blowing up.
I would say there's probably about 100, maybe 150. It's hard because it's dark, and I believe this probably isn't the only place that people are gathered, but at least from where we are, I'd say at least about 100, 150 people are here.
And again, Maury, just for our viewers at home, you're at least probably 2 blocks away from where, this
We are watching this
injury
live.
reported injury shooting may have occurred between ICE and an individual. We do not know who that individual
Maribel,
is.
can you get-
We don't know what the situation was.
I got Aaron on the back end, and I have I got Officer Officer John's on the other end. Don't worry, go ahead.
Well, we just moved back about another half block, so the federal agents are still at the corner, right at the intersection before they were about a half block down towards, I guess, 20. Sorry, getting a little confused.
That's okay. We have
hard to
Skyfox
see
9
street
up.
signs.
We have Skyfox 9 up, Maury, so we're kind of up over the scene.
The federal agents moved up about a half a block.
Okay.
They're now blocked off the intersection and are trying to, looks like they're kind of making a singing grenades, came up.
Yeah, and more just to get people up to speed too, if they're just tuning in, about an hour ago, the city of Minneapolis put out a statement that they were aware of reports of a shooting involving federal law enforcement in North Minneapolis. They are working to get additional information. We know that the scene is around North 24th Avenue and North 6th Street in the Hawthorne neighborhood of Minneapolis. And Maury was talking to City Council member Latricia Vita about what she's hearing from her
Guys, I'm going to lower
constituents.
1 second. I was coming on to talk about Iran, guys. Soon as I actually was coming on, I had reports of another ICE shooting developing story in Minneapolis. You got chaos happening in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We also have reports that Donald Trump is got military nearby, as there's been reports of an Iranian plane taking off. As we heard from President Trump earlier today, that his sources were that the protesters have calmed down. But since then, in Iran, guys, I know my title says Iran. We will be talking about that off and on. This is developed. So a lot is happening on this Wednesday.
Again, we're trying to avoid that as well and give.
Don't know where the plane is heading.
Who may be listening or watching or following us online is that we don't know exactly what the circumstances were. We do believe that it was an injury type shooting. Short of that, we don't know the details. ICE was in this neighborhood. Why they were there, we don't know. And as often happens, I had a activists and agitators to show up as well. And that clearly is what happened. However, in this case, Minneapolis police, probably along with federal agents, did get the area cordoned off pretty quickly with their crime scene tape or police tape. And that is kept.
All right, real quickly, guys. What is happening? We have 2 different developing situations happening. Good evening, guys. And I appreciate you coming in. Like, if you haven't, I don't know what you're waiting for, subscribe. As I am breaking this news to you as quick as I could. I was coming on to talk about Iran and Donald Trump on what he spoke on today, as he was pretty positive on his sources from Iranian and the regime, how that they were going to eliminate or stop killing the innocent protesters, the regime. However, as soon as I was coming on with that live, these things happen, of course. reports I got were a federal ICE agent took a shot at a man who to believe is from Venezuela. I hate to mix you all up in Minneapolis. I cannot confirm that yet. What we can confirm was another ICE agent involved shooting in Minneapolis. The suspect had a snow shovel and threatened or maybe approached the ICE agent to the ICE agents or ICE agent. And they chased him into a home. I don't know whose home. It could have been his own home. And now you are witnessing, protesters. And as you can see, tear gas, as the subscriber said, tear gas, trying to get these protesters back and away. Their guns are being drawn. And so we're going to try to cover two stories. I don't know. I'm going to see if I can get on some more information on Iran. The reports I heard from Iran is there's no flight restriction. However, you cannot stop Iranian plane, homegrown, made in Iran, has taken off. Now, don't know where that plane was taken off from. We're going to keep an eye on that. But right now, our main focus is on Minneapolis, and I'll turn the volume back up. But thank you for being here.
For a temporary restraining order in an attempt to bring an end to the ICE surge that is underway in the state of Minnesota. The judge did not issue that restraining order today, but there are hearings set up over the next week or so to continue to hear arguments on this. So each and every day there are new things that are developing in the midst of this action, and we know from listening to state and federal officials, they do not see eye to eye on this situation. That has been playing out publicly.
The latest DHS numbers that have come to us from DHS, and again, we can only get what we can retrieve from DHS.
Thank you, Ardell.
Have more than 2,000 people detained and or arrested in Minnesota since ICE began its operation here some 2 weeks ago, or almost 2 weeks ago, in terms of the surge of ICE agents. They've been here for quite some time, but the surge began just about 2 weeks ago. And Homeland Secretary Kristi Noem's response to criticism of how it was being conducted, and the administration's response was, we're going to send more federal agents into the Twin Cities to convince local government and citizens that we are here to complete this operation.
We here at Live Now have been listening in to Fox 9 Minneapolis's broadcast. We are getting something into our newsroom, a statement from the Department of Homeland Security. DHS sending this out minutes ago when we wanted to make sure that we brought this to you on air as soon as possible. They say at 6:50 p.m. Central Time, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden in 2022.
Venezuela, there you go. Venezuela, I was correct.
DHS's Twitter. They say in an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the suspect on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the suspect began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired defensive shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This attack on another brave member of law enforcement took place while Minnesota's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging and organizing resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end, DHS says. They conclude by saying federal law enforcement officers are facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them as they put their lives on the line to arrest criminals and lawbreakers. Matt Finn with Fox News saying, "We are on the scene of the latest ICE-involved shooting in Minneapolis, and the site is surrounded by large crowds of angry protesters, blowing the whistles, screaming murderers. You're going to start a war." Fox's chopper is on top of it. I'm Austin Westfall. That's going to do it for my time on the desk. Shauna Kalafi will be up here next. Speaking of Fox being in the sky above the scene, this is the shot they've got. And Fox 9 Minneapolis is on with their newscast right now. Let's keep listening in as they cover this developing situation.
The regional subject got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick, fearing for his life and the safety as he was being ambushed by 3 individuals. The officer fled, fired defensively shots to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. All 3 subjects ran back to the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and the subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. This attack, it goes on to say, is another brave member of law enforcement, took place while Minneapolis's top leaders, Governor Walz and Mayor Frey, are actively encouraging an organized resistance to ICE and federal law enforcement officers. Their hateful rhetoric and resistance against men and women who are simply trying to do their jobs must end. Federal law enforcement officers are facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them as they put their lives on the line to arrest criminals and lawbreakers. And again, this is the full statement coming from the Department of Homeland Security here within just the past 2 minutes.
Tim, have you heard any response from the city on this or any confirmation from law enforcement that this is how it
None
went
at this
down?
time, Randy. We haven't, but Homeland Security confirming now that at least one of their agents shot in defense after he was being attacked while trying to make an arrest here tonight.
Okay, Tim, thank you. We are now closer as we watch our screens here to that scene. You can see it's being held back. Protesters are being held back. Again, there are basically 2 areas set up right now. One is the crime scene or alleged crime scene. Another is where.
So, guys, you heard it from me earlier. I called it before the reporters in Minneapolis. My reports were correct. I was incorrect on 1 suspect. I guess it's been 3. You heard it there. This happened now probably 45 minutes ago. We were coming on air to cover Iran and what's happening there. However, we took a different direction right now as Venezuela. 2 have been in custody, been injured, no fatalities. ICE agent seems to be okay. Had a strike because of a shovel. You're seeing snowballs thrown, but a shovel, some kind of a shovel, maybe a snow shovel, I'm guessing, was went towards a ICE agent. Once again, about a week after Renee Good interfered with ICE agents. So I said this last night, guys. Unfortunately, I don't want to be right. I want to be wrong. This is only the beginning in Minneapolis. As Governor Tim Walz has made it clear, we have a war on government. He's making it like a civil war. He is not doing any help, ladies and gentlemen. For me, he should be impeached, removed from office, investigated ASAP for the fraud. But this topic, this is not America. We have a developing situation here in Minneapolis. You do not ever threaten a officer, ICE agent of any kind. And this is happening about 40 minutes ago. Once again, yeah, viewer discretion is advised.
This is what federal law enforcement officials reported to us at 6:50. They say they were.
Hold on, we gotta move back.
Okay.
It's erupting, guys. It's erupting in Minneapolis. It is now official. We do now have a. I mean, this is like a.
Keep moving back.
This is nuts. This is what Tim Walz wants.
I got you.
Whoa!
Keep moving back.
Are you kidding me?
Watch out, watch out, watch out.
Folks at home, you're watching this live. This is the scene in North Minneapolis where earlier tonight.
Yes, Ozzy, I
there was a
agree.
shooting of what we believe
Thank
was
you
a
for being here.
Venezuelan immigrant that law enforcement, federal agents were trying to take into custody. A struggle ensued. An assault upon the federal agent allegedly has occurred there as well. The federal agent discharged his weapon, hitting that Venezuelan migrant in the leg. Both the officer and the migrant have been taken to the hospital. And as you can imagine, a crowd did gather in that scene. Federal agents, Minneapolis police are on the scene as well, are deploying chemical irritants to keep the crowd back. Our Maury Glover is on scene there. He just got caught up in those chemical mixes.
To talk, I know you've been breathing a lot of that in, Maury.
Hello?
Yeah, we hear you, Maury.
Hi, my name's Maury Glover. I'm from Channel 9. I just wanted to see, did you guys just get caught up in the tear gas?
Yeah, literally, it landed right on my foot, which was so scary. And they already tear gassed me before. But, like, I think the adrenaline made the pain go away. I don't know. That was very scary.
Well, how about for you?
Yeah, I just got hit right here on the shoe, too. And it was very painful when I got hit. Yeah.
Why are you out here tonight?
Because I just heard the ice kill someone here.
Yeah.
Or shot someone here. And this is, we live around here. We live in the neighborhood.
A block away.
A block away, yeah. We just walk here. And we're like, that's not acceptable.
I believe what we've been hearing is that there was a person who was shot, an immigrant who was shot, as well as, I believe, an officer, an agent who was also shot. And they've both been taken to the hospital. But we don't believe, or at least we don't know if anyone has died or has been killed.
Okay.
Still,
I can confirm as of now, no one has lost their life.
I think the ICE should get the hell out of here. We don't want ICE in Minneapolis because they're terrorizing us. They're terrorizing especially immigrant communities, and we don't need them here.
What do you think about the tactics that kind of the federal agents are using to kind of disperse the crowd here?
It's not right at all. It's really not right.
That's my daughter, yeah.
Like, yeah. The way that they're acting right now is insane. Seriously insane. And if they really shot someone, I mean, they already did shoot someone, which is insane. So if they did shoot someone again, like, something needs to be done here. Seriously, something really needs to be done.
I've seen, thank you very much, really appreciate it. We've seen several people who've been caught up in the tear gas, kind of trying to pour water on their eyes and trying to clear the gas. It's obviously having an impact on folks here, and they've kind of cleared away from that intersection. But as you can see, they're kind of gathering right back there. People are here handing out water. But folks, demonstrators are going back, right back to that intersection. And this kind of ebb and flow has been kind of happening all night. But we'll continue to monitor the situation and let you know if anything changes.
Maury, can you hear me? It's Randy.
Yes, I can.
I want to give you some details because you need to be armed with these details out there because misinformation is what we're trying to avoid here. So I want to read you a statement from DHS on what they say happened, and at least you'll know how
Listen in, everybody.
what the details are from their perspective, okay?
Okay.
All right, it goes like this. At 6:50, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into the country by Joe Biden. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. Law enforcement officer caught up to the subject, attempted to apprehend him. The subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, two others came out of a nearby apartment, also attacked that law enforcement officer with a shovel and a broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the two individuals, the original suspect got loose and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety, as he was being ambushed by three individuals, the officer fired a defensive shot to defend his life. The initial subject, the Venezuelan illegal immigrant, as it's defined here, was hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into an apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. That is the assessment of what happened there at 6:50 p.m. Central Time from DHS and federal law enforcement. Okay?
All right, come this way. Okay, thank you very much. That's helpful as far as, a lot of folks out here don't know a whole lot of information. They're just going on what they heard. So that's kind of what we heard. So thank you.
Maury, I know
We're going to have to go for a second.
Okay.
Let me go. We'll come back.
He started near 25th and Lyndale, and he's moved back several blocks because, as he said, federal officials have been putting that tear gas out there, dispersing the crowds. Maury said that the people in the crowds were shooting off fireworks at those law enforcement officials, ICE agents. We know that MPD is on scene, but Maury is seeing specifically the federal officials on that particular street deploying that chemical irritant, that tear gas that we keep hearing going.
And shoving them into unmarked vans. Kidnapping innocent people.
Looks like he's moved back quite a distance from the scene, which is at North 24th Avenue and North 6th Street in the Hawthorne neighborhood. And as we've said a couple times here, this all started to unfold around 7 o'clock tonight when ICE officials were trying to detain a subject.
We also have Fox 9's Courtney Godfrey on scene as well at 24th and Aldrich there in North Minneapolis. Again, if this began in the Hawthorne neighborhood. Courtney, you are there on site. Are you in a less active area, or is it much the same where you are?
Yeah, and I just arrived on the scene, but I can just by hearing Maury's report, it sounds like he's in a more active area than I am. I'm about 2 blocks away from where he is, about 1.5 blocks away from where this actually happened. I will say, though, the crowds are growing. The traffic around here, it is pretty heavy. Cars continue to go by. There's very little parking left, so people are continuing to come into the area, obviously wanting to join these protests. We are seeing ICE agents here on the street. They've put up caution tape to try and block the protesters from going towards that scene. There's about 6 ICE agents behind me blocking the roadway, and the protesters who are out here, maybe about 50 people right now, they have been shouting at those ICE agents saying, "We don't want you here, leave." A lot of obscenities being thrown tonight. We are hearing flashbangs. Not sure if those are fireworks from individuals in the crowd here or if those are from law enforcement. Again, I just got down here on the scene, so I'm trying to assess the situation. Haven't had an opportunity to talk to anybody out here, but I will say, at least where we are right now, it's mainly just individuals continuing to gather here and speak their displeasures.
I welcome it, everybody, just to bring everybody up to date as we have new viewers coming in. First of all, thank you so much. I'm Sal. Hit the like, subscribe. As we were one of the first to break this news. I was correct. This was you heard it, if you heard, there was a traffic stop routine, an illegal migrant, illegal here, once again, under the Biden administration, who were there to detain suspect, either a shovel or a broomstick or both, went after a ICE agent, and they ran into a apartment, not a house, an apartment. So I was incorrect, but you heard it here. And the people there, on their defense, they shouldn't be out there anyhow, but they're only hearing that they think the ICE agents are there just shooting. It's not the case. Okay, this has been going on, in my opinion, too long. This was a routine traffic stop. They got the two in custody, minor injuries, no fatalities or anything like that. The people there are mixed up. The governor, there's no leadership. This is where the governor should have his authorities. Breaking news should come out and tell what was reported from Live Now Fox. This is another reason why you have fake news, CNN, CNBC. It's out of control, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not here to change your mind, but it's out of control. This is going to cause more mass destruction. People there with fireworks, tear gas from the ICE agents trying to push people back. And then, as you can see my title, I apologize, but there was Iran has had a plane lead Iran, and Trump is known to make surprises and go in and take out the regime. Now, I believe, real quickly, that it'll probably happen after the stock market closes on Friday. My guess would be he's known for surprises. That will probably go in with military action and free the protesters. Now the count is like thousands of people in Iran have lost their life. And what I'm hearing is stay tuned because it probably will happen late Friday evening into the weekend. So we were going to talk about that, but right now, as you can see, it's been out of control. People are confused. Some people in the chat are saying pay protesters. Probably so, some of them. There's others on there are just confused. They hate Trump. They hate ICE agents. And they're only seeing what they know. They're not listening to news. And if they are listening to news, they're listening to fake news. Well, this is real news, guys. These are reports that are coming in from sources I broke in before even the news knew about it, right? A lot of these been following me now for a while. And this was a routine traffic check to get illegals out of Minneapolis, California, out of the United States. They're paid to do their job. These ICE agents are Democrats, Republicans, Independents, gay, straight, black, and white Hispanics. And if they feel threatened from their life, they will shoot. And these people are making bad decisions. But this is not a bad decision. These are illegal Venezuela. They shouldn't be here. Get the hell out of here. And that's why ICE agents are there. So for these people to say, ICE agents, bad, Hitler. Trump. No, this is to keep you safe. That woman, that young lady, people out there safe. Anyhow, let's get back.
Intersection like they're doing right now.
Maury, have you seen any state or local law enforcement presence where you are?
When I first arrived on the scene, I actually pulled up right next to the chief of police, but they quickly moved from the location that I initially came to and went somewhere else, and I was about a block or so away. So when I heard that there was activity over at this intersection, my photographer Vinny and I came over here, and this is where we found a large crowd that were blowing whistles and kind of chanting at the Border Patrol agents who are lined up across the street right here.
Okay, Maury, appreciate it. Stay safe. And
all right, I just got another report in, ladies and gentlemen. Listen up. I just got another report. There is a possibility of another subject in custody. I can't confirm 100%. I can't confirm if it's from Venezuela or somewhere else. But I can confirm the reason you're seeing ICE agents, federal agents here is to, protect Minneapolis, because you can see they're just angry people, confused people, paid protesters, whatever you want to say, all of them above. But they are, going to probably be out all night long. And also, most importantly, protect themselves.
We don't know exactly what it was.
I just can't believe this has happened in the United States of America.
Apartment, and then, according to this release from the government, those two people began beating the federal officer with a snow shovel and a broom or broom handle.
Broom handle. Snow
at
shovel.
that point, the Venezuelan migrant took off, and then also began assaulting the officer. So there were three people allegedly on the officer at the time. The officer, in a defensive mode, fired his weapon, hit the Venezuelan migrant in the leg, and was able to break up the fight. And both the Venezuelan migrant and the officer are now at HCMC, we believe.
And two other attackers are in custody. There's so many pieces to this traffic stop that started at 6:50. Even after the initial subject was apparently shot in the leg, the three subjects ran back into an apartment and barricaded themselves inside. So we have yet to talk to anybody who witnessed this in the neighborhood.
Yeah, and what's happening out there is, for the most part, the people who are showing up have no idea what happened. We just got the release in terms of the details from that side of the story, less than 15 minutes ago. So the folks that have gathered out there had no information. In fact, we talked to a Minneapolis City Council member who didn't have any idea what had happened either, but the crowds were gathering, and all they knew those that knew anything was that someone had been shot by a federal agent again.
And so we have Courtney Godfrey at another location close to where Maury is, but in a different position with the crowds that are gathering. And so, Courtney, if you can hear us, just wondering what you're seeing from your vantage point. If you could tell us where
guys, you have to excuse me 1 second.
In terms of where the scene
get
is
some
at
water.
North 24th Avenue and North 6th Street. How far away are you?
Yeah, we're about a block and a half away from the scene. I'm not sure if you can see, but if you can see that red stoplight back there, that's about where this all happened. They've blocked off this street. I'm here at 24th Avenue North and Aldridge Avenue. But they had this entire street about 30 minutes ago before I arrived. My photojournalist let me know that about 30 minutes ago, there was squad cars lining this entire street. Easily 100 law enforcement officers, ICE, Minneapolis Police, State Patrol on this street.
Exactly,
They've cleared
Carmen.
the area now what we're left with is about half a dozen ICE agents here and about 50 or so protesters standing here at this crime scene tape, shouting at those ICE agents, letting them know how they feel about their presence here in the city. We haven't heard them say anything directly about what happened here tonight, so not sure how much they know. Obviously, that DHS information and press release came out only in the last 20 minutes or so, so people out here are probably getting that information as we speak, but they are making sure to make their voices heard to those ICE agents standing there on the streets, letting them know they do not want them here. They're shouting obscenities at them, telling them to go home. And the traffic, I will note too, on these streets in this neighborhood is very heavy. So there are cars parked on both sides of the street for blocks of people who are obviously coming in here to voice their opinions on the north side at the scene of this, and it's created kind of a traffic congestion, so it seems like more people are coming in, but as of right now, the crowd has stayed pretty stable since I've been out here the last 15 minutes, probably about 50 to 100 protesters, but again, I'm only in one location. It sounds like we've got a chopper up in the sky, and maybe you're getting a better view from overhead, but from this location here at Aldridge and 24th, I'd say maybe
there's the car right there.
Right now. But definitely, I would expect this crowd to grow just with the cars that I'm seeing on the streets here. You can hear them chanting there now. We're hearing bangs, not sure if those are flashbangs from law enforcement or if those are fireworks being let off by protesters. We have seen some of that, so it could be either. There are some obscenities on the air right now that are being yelled at the ICE agents, so hopefully we've got our air cleaner on. But we'll continue to keep you posted on what we are seeing down here.
Okay, well, and we've seen the volatility that has existed for weeks now between these federal officials and activists, protesters, people who come to watch and see what's happening. Whenever there is an ICE enforcement going on, oftentimes word will pass around the neighborhood and then beyond, and people will gather, and that is what we're seeing tonight, in addition to what happened during this traffic stop with the subject of an enforcement being shot.
We're trying to give all our viewers as many views as we can. If you're looking at your TV now or your computer screen, you see 5 different images up there. Those are cameras placed obviously.
A shout out to Fox 9 Minneapolis doing an incredible job for us.
And an immigrant, and then the other 4 are locations around that area. So we're trying to keep a really close handle on what's happening in those various areas. As our reporters have noted, some areas are more active than others. Tim Blotz is in the newsroom for us. Tim, you've been monitoring what's coming in as well. I know you had that statement and have that statement from the DHS on what their take on what happened earlier. Can you run us through that again?
Yeah, I think it would be very timely for us to reread this statement. We're a little bit after the top of the hour now, and we know a lot of new viewers are checking in with us to see what's going on. This came in literally about maybe 15 minutes ago, and it says at 6:50 tonight, federal law enforcement officers were conducting a targeted traffic stop in Minneapolis of an illegal alien from Venezuela who was released into custody in 2022. Now, in an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. The subject then fled on foot. And the statement goes on to say that the law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot, attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and law enforcement were in a struggle on the ground, 2 subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by the 2 individuals, the statement says, the original suspect got loosed and began striking the officer with a shovel or broomstick.
Whoa.
Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by the 3 individuals, the officer fired a defensive shot to defend his life. The initial subject was hit in the leg. The statement goes on to say that all 3 subjects ran back to the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer
Kind of funny,
and
man,
subject
Ozzy.
are both in the hospital. Both attackers are in custody. And again, this is the statement coming in from the Department of Homeland Security within the last 15 minutes here, describing their version of what took place in a Hawthorne neighborhood tonight at about 6:50. Randy, Kelsey?
Right.
And those ICE agents remain on the scene, a good number of them, because you have seen in Maury Glover's, where his location is and his camera vantage point, the agents have a perimeter set up. They have also been, and this is this more? Okay, so we've watched those flashbangs. And we've seen protesters letting off fireworks. So there is some volatility going on between protesters who've gathered at the scene and the law enforcement presence that was already there after this shooting tonight. And again, multiple rounds of flashbangs, tear gas deployed against the crowd. You can see fireworks now from the aerial shot. The crowd, we've been told, is about 100 to 150 people that have gathered. At times it feels like it's getting bigger. And again, when the crowd is pushed out, Maury said then as soon as the chemical irritants clear the air, they go back up to the perimeter line again.
Yeah, we're seeing some pretty active scenes now in that 5 box that we have on your screens at home, folks. The one scene, I think you witnessed our photographer go down on the ice as they were backing up again. More chemical irritants were being deployed and people were trying to back
See,
up.
once again, guys, I'm going to lower a little bit. We'll be monitoring this
the
situation.
side of your screen.
Once again, guys, all joking aside.
The agents, and there's another one that.
How the hell
Some of this is fireworks
can a
too that are being
governor
thrown by,
who was going to be the vice president of the United States not step up
and what's coming from
come out publicly
but it is
on TV and say, hey,
extremely volatile
tell us
right
exactly
now.
what happened.
From an
How the
incident
hell
that
can he
occurred,
not tell these people to
2.5
go home?
hours ago.
These are people.
And so
We can
we're trying to get
talk
additional
about paid
information
protesters,
as
not
much
paid
as we
protesters.
possibly
They're
can
human
to
beings.
understand the full picture.
I
of
don't
this. We
agree
do
with
have,
this, but a
Department
strong
of
government
Homeland
would say,
Security
hey,
has,
your
told us
safety,
what happened
go
earlier tonight
home.
at 6:50,
Let the
and
ICE
that we
agents
have a
do
subject
their
in the
job.
hospital who was,
We can talk and
shot
discuss
by an
this
officer
at
who
a
feared for
later
his life
date.
after he'd
We
been
have a
ambushed.
situation
Again, this
developing
started
with
the
an
traffic
illegal
stop trying
Venezuelan
to take an
two
illegal alien, according to DHS,
that are
from Venezuela into
been
custody.
shot.
That
ICE
subject,
agents threaten
then
their life again.
crashed and
He
then
should come
fled
out and
the
make that
scene.
statement.
And then once the officer was trying
Weak
to take that person
leadership
into custody,
leads
two
to
people
people
ran out of a nearby
losing their
apartment,
lives. He
also
has no
started
control
attacking law
of
enforcement
Minneapolis.
with a snow
This
shovel
man
and broom.
should
And as the
be
officer was being
in
ambushed,
prison.
DHS says that
Just
the
for this.
officer then
Not mention
fired a
allegedly
shot,
the fraud.
to defend his own life.
But he
And the
hates
three
Donald Trump
subjects then
and the government
got
officials
up
so
and
much. He's even
barricaded
saying
themselves in
we
an
are at
apartment.
war with government.
So the
And I
officer
told
is
you
in the
guys
hospital.
this last week.
The
For those who
person
subscribe to
from,
me, thank you so
Venezuela
much.
who was
What
shot
did I
in the
say?
hospital, 2
When you
other
have a
survivors in
governor who
custody.
says this stuff.
We're
Now
waiting
these
to hear
people,
from
granted, some of them don't know what's going on,
because they do
but they
have
made their
some
mind up. They don't like ICE
haven't,
agents.
heard from
Regardless,
law enforcement
get
yet.
out of there. Don't they care about their life? So, you know, they're going to twist the story around. CNN's going to come out tomorrow, and they're going to put it, and they're going to say, well, it was ICE agents' fault, that the Venezuela belonged here. You heard what they said. He came here under 2022, under a committee, Joe Biden, let him in. Millions of people. Donald Trump has closed the border, but we got a lot of here. That's why we have ICE agents in Minnesota, right? And routine traffic stop. These people now are kind of fighting with the ICE agents, right? Because of a weak governor. Weak Governor Gavin Newsom in California. Weak in Chicago. Weak in almost every Democrat state because they are hypnotized and it's a cult and it's leading to this. This ICE agent was protecting his life it sounds like to me, and the people there. I can't believe we are witnessing this. Shout out to Fox 9 Minneapolis. They are doing a fantastic job showing us what's happening, what's erupted. Once again in Minneapolis. I am Sal. Thank you for liking and subscribing. We'll stay tuned a little longer. Viewer discretion advised. I'm going to try to get some information with Iran and see what's true on that. Sources tell me that an Iranian homemade, homegrown plane flew out of Iran about an hour and a half ago, as President Trump, our president, has come on live earlier today, saying that he thought that the protesters and the regime has stopped hurting the people. However, Trump's not going to tell us everything. He likes to hold us with surprises, and hate or love him. And as far as I'm hearing, it'll probably be Friday after the stock market closes, probably in the weekend. He'll go in to take out the regime, not the people, and military forces to try to prevent Iran from collapsing. And the Iranians, Persian people, want our help. They want President Trump. So I'll do the best to cover that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any answers on that, because we're obviously staying tuned to this. Let's see what else is going on here. It looks like they pretty much got it under control right here.
Arrest that didn't take place at that moment. This is really starting to. Okay, they're starting. I think they're trying to get people cordoned back and in control.
We should have a press conference, I would assume, right?
The scene as possible.
And we're trying to keep our crews safe as well, and at a safe distance. We continue to check in with them, and they have people around them to just watch. You can hear Maury say to the photographer he's working with, Vinny, I got you, and he's directing him.
First of all, Billy, retired military. I just want to say this, my friend.
The crowd.
Let me turn around.
As
thank you,
over the last
and anybody who served this beautiful country for your service. God bless. God bless you.
It's a face-off right now.
Just extremely volatile, and in a lot of these scenes, there's the noise, the whistles, megaphones. They're screaming, and we have seen these scenes become very violent at times. We've had a number of incidents outside the Whipple Federal Building where detainees are being taken to. There have been a number of times where
Susu, I agree. We have to step in and help out the Persian people there in Iran and
we are just
through the world.
All of this unfold. Just today, again, the state of Minnesota filed a lawsuit against the federal government, asking for a temporary restraining order in an attempt to bring an end to the ICE surge. Federal judge listened to the arguments, did not issue that temporary restraining order, but more arguments are scheduled in hearings in federal court in the days to come. Also yesterday, a big resignation at the U.S. Attorney's Office, 6 attorneys leaving the U.S. Attorney's Office, and that includes a lead prosecutor, Joe Thompson, and the New York Times saying that the departures stem from directives from top federal officials to staff members.
That I didn't know.
After the killing of Brene Good by ICE agent Jonathan Ross. And that is according to sources that have been reported by the New York Times. Our reporter saw Joe Thompson packing up his things and leaving the U.S. Attorney's Office today. He has given no public statement for that. But every day we do see, when there is ICE enforcement, there's a network of people who are watching, and they will come and gather in a neighborhood, and then the word will get out to a larger group, and you'll often see these groups gathering around any kind of enforcement action that is happening, and that is what.
And also to bring everybody up to date on Kristi Noem, they want her impeached. Who's that? The Democrats. They want her to be impeached, investigated. Kristi Noem, they want her impeached.
To gather in the street and around and pull out their cell phone cameras to record, and sometimes there are major clashes between the protesters and the officials.
Generally, we've seen in the past with these.
You're looking at live footage here in Minneapolis, Fox 9, Minnesota.
A bit, and Minneapolis police would be on the scene because now it would be considered a crime investigation. However, since it was an assault on a federal agent, it is highly possible and likely that the federal FBI. The FBI would take over this investigation, much as they have with the Renee Good fatal shooting by a federal agent as well. So Minneapolis police come to these scenes when there are crowd control issues.
That
or
is
there's
true,
been some
guys.
sort of assault or
this is a crime scene. This is a crime scene. These people need to be removed. You know, how the hell did I forget? This is a crime scene. And ICE needs to clear this up to remove each and every one of them. That's a crime scene.
Everybody's moving pretty quickly around here. There was some more action.
They better move quickly.
They seem to be leaving the scene, so we followed to see where they were going. We're now at 23rd and Lindale, and we're actually streaming off of our
23rd and
phone.
Lindale.
If the quality has dropped, I apologize for that, but we want to bring you as close as we possibly can to see what's going on down here. What you can see behind me, and hopefully we can pan over so that you can see what's going on. You can see law enforcement, and right here, I can't exactly see. I think it's State Patrol.
Yeah, that's not my camera, guys. It's
And they have
they're having problems there. Very cold weather there.
To a protester out here who said that she witnessed pepper spray being dispersed, and that there was pepper spray being used as a deterrent to try and get these protesters to move. I have not witnessed that yet myself, but we are seeing the flashbangs. We are hearing the flashbangs. We see that they have created a physical barricade of law enforcement in riot gear, clearly trying to push this crowd back, trying to keep them out of the area. We also see protesters out here going right up to the line, and they're yelling at these individuals, these law enforcement individuals. We've seen them yelling at ICE agents. You can hear people with their whistles out here, just letting them know their displeasure with them and with ICE and with those ICE agents that are conducting these operations in Minneapolis right now. These law enforcement agents are just holding the line.
It's erupted, folks. I mean, this is.
Trying to keep the protesters off that street there, trying to keep them away from the scene, which is about a block from here.
All right, Courtney, thank you. That was great. We are seeing some of what you're talking about off our other cameras too, and there is a great deal of chemical irritant being deployed at this point. There also was a police line being put up just as we were talking about that. And right now in the full screen, you can see exactly how tight that line is between protesters and the ICE and other federal agents right there on the scene. It is intense.
Yeah, and we see this often when protesters come face to face with these ICE agents. They are so close to one another. The tension continues to build.
You know,
there is a lot of yelling. The scenes are very, very
I don't want you
loud,
guys to get
as
dizzy.
You can hear from our cameras here tonight.
First of all, shout out to Fox 9 Minneapolis.
We do hear some sirens in the background now.
They are doing a fantastic job. But I don't want you guys to get kind of dizzy. So I'll wait for them to get that organized. It is cold there. I'm sure they're having problems with the camera. I don't know about you guys. Yes or no? Yes or no in the chat. I'm sick and tired. I talked about this last night of these protests that are being done here. This have to be controlled. I think they should have zero tolerance. I would arrest every single one of them right now and charge a minimum of a gross misdemeanor and some a felony. This is now a crime scene. Okay, it's a crime scene. They were interfering with the crime scene, and the governor, Tim Walz. How the hell?
As well, so
Trump, you will be the best president only if you do this. I want two things from you, Trump. I want to see Tim Walz in prison.
But often they will bring larger vehicles in to create a better barrier. We don't know if that is the case. But
you can't hear me?
There is just a.
Can you guys not hear me?
Of federal and state.
Cannot hear me?
Local law enforcement on scene now. It's safe. It's pretty safe to assume that a lot of folks that showed up there, I have no idea what may have occurred there earlier tonight, but they are there because ICE is there, and clearly there was some sort of event.
Okay, it's a better.
Want to have a position on their position.
What I was saying.
Want ICE out.
And you're looking at a shot on the ground there of the presence of federal officials still at the scene.
All right, what I was saying is,
as we continue to watch.
Can you guys hear me now?
Crowd. And at some points, like Courtney said,
what I was saying is it's a crime scene. Regardless of a crime scene, Governor Tim Walz, I was saying, should be held responsible. He's lost control of his Minneapolis estate. He should step down. This was a man who was going to be vice president, who was running with Kamala, and has not shown any kind of leadership. Allegedly knew about the fraud, was in on it, or stupid. Either way, he needs to go. He has made his point. He spoke his mind. We are at war with the government and Donald Trump. He's basically saying it's a civil war, and we don't want that. What we want is safe, common sense, and these people that, subjects, they're in custody from Venezuela on a routine stop and check to be sent back to Venezuela. We don't want them in our jails. Why should we pay our attention? Get these people, along with the Somalians, out of here. I'm sick of it. Sorry. Well, there's nice people there, Sal. Absolutely, there's nice people coming here. Send them back too, and come here legal through due process. 2022, you heard it. These Venezuelans came here. These are rapists, murderers, drug cartels, okay? And all of them above coming here. Mental institutions. We got to worry about our homegrown here, which we should. And now all hell's breaking out, and it's going to escalate. And this is a crime scene. And these people that are there, I would arrest all of them and charge misdemeanors to felonies on each and every one of these protesters. I don't care what their age are. Get them the hell out of here. Crazy. Sorry, guys, but this is common sense.
Later going ICE enforcement, you and I were on the air directing our audience to the governor's speech, Kelsey, and literally 10 minutes before that happened is when this shooting happened. And the governor had some main points that he wanted to make here tonight. And
all right,
he
hold
said,
on.
Look, I know this is scary. He said, we're all scared by this. I said, you're angry. I'm angry. Anger is not strong enough of a word, but he said you have to stay peaceful. And he reiterated again what he's been talking about many times here in the past week, that to get...
Is that right, Ozzy? 75 a year? Read that comment when you guys get a chance, please. 75,000 a year.
Exactly, and the governor...
Welcome in vehicle. Thank you, members.
Exactly what President Trump wants. And he had very pointed messages for the administration here tonight. And he said, quote, to the president and Secretary Noem, end this occupation. You're done enough.
All right, Maury is on site. Sorry, Tim. Thank you for that. Maury Glover, again, active around your site, it looks like. What do you have?
Well, just about 3 or 4 minutes ago, those federal agents came and launched some tear gas, which they're doing again to get the crowd to disperse. Again, it's like I said, they come up, they fire tear gas, flashbangs, get the crowd to move back. The last time we had to go back about a block to get out of the way of some of this tear gas. Then we were able...
I appreciate your support, Carmen.
...to the intersection and then moved back. The crowd came back.
Absolutely, Sisu. Absolutely,
as
my
you can
friend.
see, they've done this tear gas again. So I apologize. I've gotten some of that in my lungs here, but this happens every 5 to 10 minutes.
God bless you, Palon. Thank you for being here, my friend.
Agents fire tear gas.
Maury, it's okay.
And then we move back.
Yeah, why don't you move back and stay back, Maury? You can observe from where you are. Catch your breath. Stay out of that stuff. That's not doing any you or anybody else any good.
We might be able to go to Courtney here in a little bit too. Let us know when she's ready, because it looks like she's okay. Courtney, can you tell us?
Yes, this is live. Welcome in, Dallas.
Behind you, who has now shown up to the scene?
ICE is a 100% an American. Thank you for coming in, guys. Appreciate you. Where's this at? This is in Minneapolis. Coming out of Fox 9 Minneapolis News. They're doing an incredible job.
And you can hear the protesters yelling at or something that we've heard them yell quite frequently is, why are you standing with them? You are part of our community. Don't stand with them. Don't protect them. Stand with us. You're part of our community. State Patrol, at least on this side, has not engaged with us here. I have
what we should be doing, what we should be doing is standing by America. What we need to do is forget about Republicans, MAGA, Rhino, Democrat, moderate Democrat, radical, cult leaders. We all should be one and obey law enforcement, crime scene, and respect the President of the United States of America. He will bring in more ICE agents. This was not ICE agents there shooting up anything. This was a routine for those who are coming in. Traffic stop in 2022. Biden administration let in millions and millions of people to Venezuela. I stand correct. I used a snow shovel and a broomstick and threatened and approached an ICE agent. That's what happened here. They were shot in the leg. They were in custody in a local hospital, or probably in jail now, and hopefully sent back to Venezuela.
To the general public and the media in terms of what happened earlier in that neighborhood. It was shortly before 7 o'clock.
Minnesota, if you're just coming in, has fallen apart, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Minnesota has fallen apart. And it's not the people's fault, it's the governor. And Ilhan Omar as well.
Who was released into the country
Here we go.
by Joe Biden in 2022. In an attempt to evade arrest, the subject fled the scene in his vehicle and crashed into a parked car. They go on to say the subject then fled on foot. The law enforcement officer caught up to the subject on foot and attempted to apprehend him when the subject began to resist and violently assault the officer. While the subject and the law enforcement officer were in a struggle on the ground, two subjects came out of a nearby apartment and also attacked the law enforcement officer with a snow shovel and a broom handle. As the officer was being ambushed and attacked by two individuals, the original subject got loose, began striking the officer with a shovel or a broomstick. Fearing for his life and safety as he was being ambushed by three individuals now, the officer fired a defensive shot to defend his life. The initial subject was shot in the leg, or hit in the leg. All three subjects ran back into the apartment and barricaded themselves inside. The attacked officer and subject are both in the hospital. Both attackers are now in custody. That is DHS's version of what occurred at 6:50 p.m. tonight in that neighborhood.
And from Maury, he hasn't been able to talk to anybody who witnessed what happened. He's under the impression a lot of people are just gathering.
That's the neighborhood right there.
They heard about what happened.
So it was a residential
neighborhood, and then they have joined the crowd. So we do know a city council member was there initially. Latricia Vita told Maury that she had heard about a shooting, so she came down. She says that she wanted to create a situation of calm and then also help to get accurate information out to people because as we've seen, there's information that can spread and there's so much information that's just being shared.
I'm sure that person's fine. It's the tear gas. They shouldn't be there.
Seen all of this play
Hope for the best, but they don't belong there.
But
they're giving them some water.
Law enforcement
tear gas, has burned the eyes.
Who are still on the scene, a good number of them. That is somebody who has dealt with the tear gas and the burning of their eyes. They're using water to wash that out right now.
Exactly.
As the crowd builds and gets closer to those federal officials, you'll start to see them push back the line again. Fireworks going off against the
Patriot,
agents,
proud of it. Thank you for putting that in the comment.
To try to get control of
David. David 43132. David, God bless you. Me too.
Agent. And so
thank you, David.
Perimeters that have been set up are there to protect that crime scene. I think we can we can assess that the investigators are on the scene. We can also probably predict
Mr. Martin,
FBI investigation versus
let me just bring you up to date, my friend.
Or BCA investigation, since it did involve.
This is a crime scene, so maybe. On your defense, you don't know what's going on, and I mean that without being a smart ass. For those who are coming in, this is not a protest. This was a ICE agent
presume that it will probably
removing
be done for the most part by
subject
federal
out of the
law
car from Venezuela and illegal from Biden.
From state officials.
These people
The Bureau of
need to
Criminal
be
Apprehension,
removed.
which
It
is
is
the
now
state
a crime
law
scene,
enforcement body.
and the Governor
We
Tim
are
Walz
seeing some
should be
more,
held
there's an
100%
ambulance coming to the scene in
responsible
addition to that fire
for
truck
all
that was
this.
helping to,
All of this.
create a barrier between the crowd and the crime scene. This is
Sorry,
a
but he should.
Memorial ambulance,
And so,
and then we've got some
as
fire
far as
officials
your
coming into the
protest
scene as well.
goes,
But we're waiting
yes,
to get
protest
more
peacefully
information
at a
from
park,
Minneapolis police
daytime.
about
Don't hate on
their
America. Voice your
around the
opinion
control,
and go home.
and,
But sick,
as well as
I'm
the
sick of it.
Another North Memorial vehicle is coming into the scene.
I'm
As
sick
far as
of
I
it.
know, and unless someone in the newsroom could tell me otherwise, we have not heard anything from Minneapolis Mayor
Bring
Jacob
National
Fry,
Guard back in.
Governor Walz,
Yeah.
or local law enforcement on what occurred there
Tim
tonight,
Walz.
what's being done to
He's sleeping.
keep this under control as we
Like
move
Joe
through the
Biden did
evening
for 4
here.
years. Sleeping.
I presume that at some point someone will come out and say something, but so far, as far as I know,
Yeah,
nothing.
exactly.
One of the concerns right now is it is dark, and
What did I
we do
just
have
say,
a growing
folks?
crowd at
What did I
times.
just say?
You can see from the aerial shots there the number of flashing lights.
What did I just say?
And then from the
Why
photographs, you
hasn't
can see
Tim
the number of
Walz
agents that are still
or Chief of Staff
they're
or Mayor
across the road
has
and
come
they're
out?
creating a perimeter
All right, hold
to
on,
keep
guys.
people out of the
Hold
crime
on.
scene. You can see it's a neighborhood street that we're talking about, so these are narrow
Ladies and
lanes.
gentlemen,
They're
are we
lanes of
living in a
traffic around the
Are we living in
area.
a twilight
But
zone?
We have seen more,
How the hell?
we've seen more
How the heck
first responder
can a
vehicles coming in.
governor, mayor,
presumably-
chief?
presumably
Why isn't
some of
anybody
that would
making
be,
a
based on the number
statement?
of chemical irritants that have been
What
deployed
has
and other
happened
things that have been
toward the
erupted through the crowd
world?
and at law
Huh?
enforcement
They
officers,
hate the
where
federal
we had
ICE
some
agents
injuries
and
there
Donald
tonight
Trump
as a
so
result
bad
of
that it's
this
worse
crowd
people,
gathering and the back and forth between,
God forbid,
law
losing their lives
enforcement
over
and,
this.
protesters.
I think about it, guys. This is.
These are all scenes,
I want to see Trump.
from various angles.
We need
around
charges
that area.
against
6th
Tim
Street,
Walz.
North 6th Street and 24th Avenue North.
Ion Homar.
Minneapolis and the Hawthorne neighborhood.
Don't get me started with
We
her.
try to give people,
And the rest of the authorities,
as
they
many
have
views
not
as we
made a
can come up
statement. They
to
haven't
get a
went
sense
on
for
and made a
how
statement, a
big the scene
public
is,
statement
how many people are there,
on
how
behalf
many
of the
law
situation,
enforcement
on
personnel
what
are
should be
there, and
done
how it's been
and
unfolding
evacuate.
throughout the
It is now a
last,
crime
2.5
scene. This is not a
hours. It has been
protest.
intense at times, to say the
It's
least.
very, very sad, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very disappointed of the leadership in Minneapolis. I'm very disappointed. Are you guys disappointed? Let me know in the chat.
Courtney or Maury are available again to talk, and we'll go back out to them.
Are you
on the scene.
disappointed?
But, again, you just by watching these pictures, you can get a sense of what it's been like out there. We don't really have a good feel for whether or not they
Unbelievable.
feel like they have crowd control at this point.
Absolutely,
But,
United
these
States,
officials are
Palon.
staying on this scene.
Yeah, and what has happened in the past?
Natalie's
is
very
certainly what happened
disappointed.
A week ago with the shooting death of Renee Good, that scene did not get under control.
Someone says I'm very disappointed, but not surprised. Yeah, I guess you're right. Not surprised anymore. That's actually a fair comment.
Can and do often leave this scene. Maury Glover has been on the scene since it unfolded.
Sandra
He joins
says
us now
extremely
with
disappointed.
more on,
Hey, Sandra, thank you for being here from the very beginning. Sandra, you and Mike M. and some of the others, Crystal, thank you for being here, moderators, on a unfortunate, terrible evening
We lost his
in the United
audio, but we're
States
gonna try
of
to get that
America,
fixed
and
quickly.
Minneapolis in
Just a little
particular.
bit closer shot from Skyfox 9.
This is
The
Sky
emergency
Fox 9
vehicles that are
Minneapolis, bring
now
everybody up to
on scene.
speed with things that.
And
Maury, are you there this time?
okay.
No, I don't hear Maury.
Involves,
I don't hear Maury. Maury was the
They
reporter
say the subject
reporting
being
with
initially
getting too
trying
close to the tear gas.
detain
I think he was too close. What do you guys think?
Officer
The reporter
caught up
Maury.
with the subject attempted to take him into custody. Subject, they say, began to resist. And then once there was a scuffle, the officer said 2 other people came out and attacked him as well. He fired a shot to defend himself, and all 3 went into an apartment and barricaded themselves inside. So we know there are multiple pieces of the scene. We're not sure how far away the crashed car, fled on foot, versus apartment that was barricaded are.
Yeah, Sandra, he was a little too close.
Maury Glover on the
I wish
scene
him the
there.
best. the reporter.
All right, we are having so much trouble with Maury.
It's not Maury's fault.
Well, I'm worried because, no, I'm not really worried,
yeah.
but he's fine. But the last time we talked to him, last time our viewers heard from him, he was in having respiratory issues from the chemical irritants. So when we can,
Bubba,
producer,
Bubba says that he need a new government.
We'd sure
Absolutely.
love to, Lori in the booth and Danny directing, we'd love to go to him.
Okay. And I mean, we can maybe presume that these law enforcement officials may be on the scene for a long time, because as we've gotten a statement from DHS, there are a number of places where all of this played out.
You can kind of see now, Kelsey, it looks like that entire city block, the center of your screen, is basically the scene which we are dealing with. You can see the flashing lights in the center of that square. It's a city block, and then pretty much everything around the perimeters looks like it has law enforcement or other personnel, emergency personnel in those streets there in that Hawthorne neighborhood.
And they said the person they were originally trying to detain, who was shot, is in the hospital. The officer who was trying to detain the subject, also in the hospital. 2 other people who they say came out of an apartment and started to attack officers, are also in custody as well. So we're trying to get some information about conditions on people. The initial subject who was shot was hit in the leg.
You're looking, folks at home, at an area in North Minneapolis, in that Hawthorne neighborhood. Originally, the focus of this was North 6th Street and 24th Avenue. It has spread out now. We've talked to our reporters at 25th and Lindale, 24th and Aldrich, 23rd and Lindale. So it was a growing scene earlier. I think it seems fairly well defined now, but throughout the evening and throughout the last couple hours, more and more.
So for those who are coming in, we had a ambush.
Activists, protesters have there's another sounds like
Hold on.
flashbang, which would help disperse the crowd with chemical irritants, and you can see they're moving quickly, which means that's exactly what's happening. Pushing him back. Courtney's there in the ground. Courtney Godfrey, our reporter. We'll go to our reporters when it's safe for us to go to them, and when they are, and when they can technically come to us as well. So folks at home, just bear with us on going to our on-scene reporters.
It looks like to me, guys, this is the neighborhood here.
So in the meantime,
You have it all. You can see it. And bear with me, guys. I am trying to do the best I possibly can. This was the neighborhood here. You can see there the yellow all marked off.
The most active one on the left side of your screen, left center there, where
this was in a neighborhood.
Law enforcement on scene.
Federal ICE agents were on a routine traffic stop. Stopped a subject from Venezuela. The word was out to get them off the street in Minneapolis. There was a shovel. As you can see here, they were ambushed. They were threatening their lives. And I guess two's in custody, one's in the hospital.
The flashbangs that you just received, we're moving with the crowd just for our own safety. We are okay though. You can see the chemical irritants in the air. We are safe. We're just backing away. That's exactly what law enforcement wants to happen when they disperse those flashbangs and that chemical irritant. They're trying to get the crowd to back up. It's really icy out here.
Still people there.
People dispersing this way. We can feel the chemical irritant in our lungs and our noses. We're continuing to back up just so that we remain safe. There are people passing out water right now. Our photojournalist is going to grab one right now. As this really does get in your lungs and it starts to...
ICE won't leave from a subscriber, David. I agree, David. In fact, David, Donald Trump, President Trump says he'll bring in more ICE agents. Probably now, within the next 24 to 48 hours or sooner, they'll have more federal ICE agents. Probably another 1,000 or 2. Nah, exactly, Ozzy. Exactly.
So we'll keep you guys updated. We're just going to make sure we're a safe distance away from all this because, like everybody else, we want to get home to our families tonight, too.
We need you you guys to be safe, and on top of everything, the sidewalks are very slick out there too as you're trying to.
It looks like that
make your
reporter
way down the
is
street
okay.
quickly.
Corey or Bori.
We'll check in with him when it is safe to do so. All right, we do have some information about 10:15. Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hara are going to address the public, and so we're just getting that information about the media briefing here.
Yeah, the Mayor Fry, again, then this is coming from a release that the city just put out. Mayor Fry is again demanding that ICE leave the city and state immediately. These are his words: "We stand by our immigrant and refugee communities.
Whoa!
Know that you have our full support." Again, that's at 10:15. The mayor and Chief Ryan O'Hara are going to come to the podium and speak about what happened here tonight.
Do you guys want to hear the
we will
press
take that
conference?
And then we may get some more information at that time, or at least have the opportunity to ask what is protocol at the scene, who's in charge of the scene, how are local and state officials assisting, or what is their role at the scene right now, and then what do we know about injuries and what unfolded here, and what will be happening with this scene in the hours to come, because we're seeing more emergency vehicles show up now, and so at 10:15 again we're going to hear from Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hara from Minneapolis Police. All right, Maury is ready to talk with us, and so Maury, we just saw Courtney move back.
Maury's
because
okay,
of
guys.
Tear gas, and tell us what you're seeing at your location.
Well, conversely, things have calmed down quite a bit here in the last 20 minutes or so. The border agents, or the federal agents who were here at 25th and Lyndale, moved back down towards 24th and Lyndale, and the street opened up. And so as you can see, there are people who are walking along the street all the way now and have access down to 24th. That was not the case when I first arrived here about an hour or so ago. People were stuck kind of here, and we're having kind of, I wouldn't say clashes, but we're going back and forth with these federal agents. The federal agents had formed a line. The crowd would come up to that line. Federal agents would fire tear gas, push the crowd back. The crowd would retreat, and then the federal agents would come up a little bit, and then they'd retreat, and the crowd would move forward. It has happened a number of times here tonight. One of the last times we got caught in that chemical irritant and kind of got...
Somebody lives about 2 hours away from Minneapolis. Real briefly, what are you hearing? Anything else from local news, or anybody else from the...
Fireworks going off, if that's a firework. Not sure what that is, but the crowd obviously starting to run back up this way, so this is clearly a still fluid situation that's still going on. But
the chief of police and the mayor basically are saying, good luck everybody, we don't want ICE here. Pretty much what they're saying is, I'm going to say it, they want a civil war is what they want. They don't care about the United States of America. They don't care about Minneapolis, because if they did, they would say, have trust in our ICE agents. We don't have to approve on it right now, but we need you guys to evacuate. It's a crime scene. That chief of police should put his badge that chief of police should put his badge in his desk drawer and step away, and let somebody come in there who can separate politics. There's nothing wrong of being a Democrat or Republican. Step away. That mayor should step down. I cannot believe that this is happening in the United States of America and in Minneapolis. It's just a shame.
That's what's been happening, and for the most part, the crowd had recently just kind of dispersed. There were some people around on the edges, but it seemed like a lot of the energy had kind of gone. But as they went down the block to try and get closer to the scene of...
Shout out to Fox 9 Minneapolis. They're doing an incredible job. Excuse me. Long night, folks.
Deploying tear gas and still trying to get the crowd to come back. So hard to say exactly, that this is coming, going down. It's
the mayor. I agree with that comment about the mayor. I agree 100%.
I do know that at 10:15, Mayor Fry and Chief O'Hara.
Yeah, Ozzy. As a subscriber said 20 minutes ago, I'm in disbelief, but I'm not surprised. I think it was those words.
And on a 14
You know,
degree night, too.
not surprised.
It would be interesting to see how long people want to stand out there. We want to go back to our Courtney Godfrey, who we just saw being moved away from site because of more tear gas. We do have a little bit of a delay in our connection with her, so we're just going to hold on these shots and wait for her to connect, and then we'll see how she's doing.
I want to hear what the chief of police says. I already know what he's going to say.
Now, it's really interesting because I'm listening to Maury say that it got...
Dustin Nunez, it's just common sense. Most of us on here can probably do better than the chief of police in Minneapolis. It's just common sense. Look, I'm going to lower her voice for a second. No disrespect to this great reporter. They're doing their best they can, guys, whether they're one side or the other, common sense for me, whether you agree on Donald Trump, I don't know how you can disagree with Trump, but is to come out publicly and tell these people it's a crime scene, remove, we're not going to stand for this, people will get hurt. We can discuss this. How do you discuss this? Well, go out and vote that the governor needs to take control of Minneapolis. If he wanted any kind of, if he was any kind of a human being, he would come out now or an hour ago and speak and say, hey, we don't have to agree on the federal ICE agents, but we better respect the President of the United States of America. This is a crime scene. Go home. He doesn't even have to get into the illegals. I'll give him that. I would, but and as far as the chief of police, he should take that badge and put it in his desk drawer and retire. He is letting politics interfere, and for me, it's awful to see what's happening in the United States of America, guys. All right, I gotta take a little bit of a break here. Sit down. I just want to say thank you. I'll read some comments here real quickly. It looks like it's getting a little bit better, though, as far as the... I'm looking for my cigar. It looks like it's getting a little bit better. What is taking place in Minneapolis there. I also have to charge my phone, so hold on real second. My battery's going low. I had a laptop fry out on me, so I got to get a... all right. I got to get another laptop. The city of Minneapolis, we demand ICE to leave the city and the state. Who's saying these words? The chief of police, the mayor, and the governor, Tim Walz. It's upsetting to me that we are seeing this. For those who are confused, you came in real late. This was not a protest. It was a neighborhood, a routine traffic stop. Federal agents, ICE agents were there to take these Venezuela out of the car. They have got a snow shovel of some kind and a broomstick. Went after the ICE agents. They shot pop in the leg. 2 are in custody, 2 of the subjects. 1 is in a hospital, minor, no life-threatening to the ICE agents, more importantly, or to Venezuela. They should send them back. We don't want to pay for the taxpaying, put them in jail. Tim Walz, the mayor, the chief of police, is stand behind this. They don't care. They hate Trump. They hate the ICE agents. They'll do whatever they can to interrupt what's actually really happened, the fraud in Minneapolis. We talked about that many times. Stay tuned and like and subscribe, because we're going to be covering that hopefully when we get a chance in the next day or two, because there's more fraud that is, as we speak, being covered in Minneapolis. Much more fraud and fraud in California. But that's another day, another topic. Now, the 2 subjects went into some kind of apartment home or apartments, and that's when they got them in custody. No other harm is done. It looks like most people are okay. They're suffering some tear gas. They shouldn't be there, but they're okay. They got it in their eyes, got some water. And, you see my title and wonder what the hell's going on. But Iran there was reports of a plane of Iranian plane, their own, flying out. I want to see what's going on with that. According to Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, on the Iran situation, his reports, and Marco Rubio, Secretary of State, and J.D. Vance, that the shooting and the chaos of the protesting in Iran has kind of calmed down, but you can't trust them. But, Trump will hold us with surprises, and he's known to do things on the weekend when the stock market has closed. And I believe it'll be sooner than later that he'll bring in, our troops and take down the regime in Iran. So I'll keep you up to date. So make sure you do have all notifications checked. And I will get the news out. As you know, for those who've been on here, and thank you from the very beginning, I appreciate it. I knew about the Venezuela. You remember me calling it out. I wasn't 100% confirmed, but I have some sources, and I think I broke just as they were breaking their news here. Fox 9 Minneapolis, that's Live Fox is covering this. I don't know what happened to Fox News and CNN, why they didn't cover it in the beginning. But anyhow, it's water over a dam. But anyhow, soon Minneapolis officials will be giving up updates on the ICE involving this shooting. Once again, 2 are in custody. Nobody seriously injured. There was a protest, but this was in a neighborhood. Had nothing to do with protesting. Weak government. What can I say? What else can I say? A weak governor, weak mayor, weak chief of police. They should be held accountable for this. California should be next. We're about America and Americans. It's not about Donald Trump. It's not about the radicals. It's about us, the taxpayers, keeping our nation safe. And right now, it's not safe in Minneapolis. And what happens is it feeds into other states. And unfortunately, I hope I'm wrong, it'll get worse. So this was on the 600 block of the 24th Avenue North. He was transferred to a local hospital, and that's what we have. And it looks like it's clearing out. People are finally going home to their families. I would say some of these people are confused, but regardless, their mind's made up. They don't like ICE agents. They don't like Donald Trump. I just want to say hi to a few people. Hello, Frank and Ozzy. Thank you for being here from the beginning. Of course, Crystal, our moderator, and Mike M, Susu, and Palon. So many of you new subscribers. I overwhelmed. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I said hi to a few people here that I recognize, and yeah, Biden. Somebody put Biden in here. Biden was responsible for these 2 Venezuelas, and much more, many more coming into American soil. We'll never forget that, guys. The worst administration ever, by far, and Barack Obama. All right. Shout out to Phoenix Lighting 369. Thanks for being here. Say hello to a few more people real quick. Thank you, Palon, once again. Also, shout out to Sandra. Thank you so much for your membership, first of all, and all your support. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. J Mob, thank you for being here. Who else we got here? Talked plenty of times on Venezuela. We'll be talking about that again. Thank you, Crystal, again for being here. Appreciate everybody. Hey, make sure you guys have a beautiful evening. And stay tuned. Never a dull moment, unfortunately, right now, right? We got a lot happening on Minneapolis. And I hope I'm wrong, but I think it's going to continue. Going to continue. Once again, thank you for Mike. Appreciate it. Phoenix, I appreciate you for subbing. I appreciate all those new subscribers for subbing, and thank you so much. Shout out to Debrick. Thank you. Yes, prayers for Lemon J. If you guys could take time to pray for Lemon J. Lemon J, as far as I know, I have spoken. Well, text, and it was hospitalized. So is doing better, and a rapid recovery from one of our moderators. Thank you. All right. Now, I will give everybody about 2 minutes or so for those who are chatting among each other. Always be free on this channel to chat among each other. Okay? We have built a great community, but I'll give everybody 2-3 minutes to say their good nights to each other. And for the little people out there in AKA, you think, I will say this, a lot of you probably don't know what's going on, and I'm not going to make a public announcement on here because of security. I do have, you cannot never, ever outsmart me. I've been around for a very long time. I have some special people that I just said on this live, and there's people that you'll never see on here that are flooding off the camera, and some work for me and some don't work for me, so you can never outsmart me. Now, a lot of people are probably, what the hell is Sal talking about? We'll just leave it at that. And those people know that I will find you. My security team will investigate you, hunt you down, and you will have charges against you that you'll never see, my friend. So, you know, I'm not referring to the AKA trolls. Everybody has their different opinions. Most people that come on here and other channels are just little people, probably under 18, and those that are over 18 are never grown up. So you can never outsmart this Italian. Believe me, never. Okay, I've been around for a very long time. I hate to sound cocky, but this is going out to that individual out there, and he or she or both know what I'm talking about. So with that said, thank you so much. God bless each every one of you. God bless Donald Trump. God bless the ICE agents. Hopefully these people, you know, even though they're protesting or involved, let's wish them well. Get home safe. Don't get involved in your city or state. Let's hope to God that this will come to an end. ICE agents aren't going anywhere, folks. Trump will bring in thousands and thousands of more. Our president's not going anywhere. Our vice president's here. Our Secretary of State. We are here for America. With that said, God bless. I'm out. Ciao. Love you all. Whoops. On your three. Yep. On your three. All right. 1, 2, 3. Signing off.